Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we move on to our first panel discussion of the day on the topic retail in the Northeast opportunities and challenges. Let's welcome the moderators for the sessions. Before that, I would like to request our management team kindly place the chairs on the stage. I once again welcome all to the Northeast Retail Summit 2024. So now we are moving on to the panel discussions. And we are going to start with our first panel discussion of the day on the topic retail in the Northeast opportunities and challenges. For that, I would like to welcome our moderator for the session, Mr. Vikram Bothra sir, MD and CEO, Chandan Retail Private Limited, Ashwaran Brinjraj. So please join. Everybody make a huge round of applause. Along with him, I would like to request the panelists for the session to please come upon the dais. Mr. Avinav Parekh, Director, Bharatiya Janata. Can we have on stage Balaji Udyog, Partner, Balaji Udyog, Mr. Anuj Joshi. Please join, sir. Can we have on stage CEO, Bhagwati Sales Corporation, Mr. Chandan Parekh. Please join. Can we have on stage Group President, AM Television Private Limited, Dr. Akshata Narayan. Can we have on stage Director, Tanishq Retails Private Limited, Mr. Kunal Mordani. Can we have on stage Head Maintenance Central Mall Guwahati, Mr. Pawan Kadwala. Please join.
Hi, good afternoon again. I guess today, in the first panel discussion, we kind of discover what Northeast is all about. I mean, retail in Northeast कैसे हुआ? क्या चल रहा है retail in Northeast? किस तरह क्या opportunities है, क्या challenges है? So we have got an esteemed panel and a very diverse panel, and let's hear them out. Retail in Northeast has been at the forefront in a much more traditional way. So, let's start with Pawanji. I think I will start with you. क्या लगा आपको कि retail market Northeast में, how is it emerging? What's your take on that? Retail market over these years Northeast में कैसे emerge हो रहा है?
पवन खटोला जैसे रिटेल मार्केट नॉर्थ ईस्ट का जो है अभी काफ़ी हमारे यहाँ पर जो देख रहे हैं डे बाई डे जो शुरू से दिखता आ रहा है 2015 में जब हमने सेंट्रल मॉल जब चालू किया था अराउंड 2,10,000 स्क्वायर फीट एरिया में एंड फर्स्ट 4 AC मल्टीप्लेक्स इन गुवाहाटी सेंट्रल मॉल उसमें हम लोग रिलायंस डिजिटल मार्क्स एंड स्पेंसर्स ट्रेन सीने कॉलेज जैसे ब्रांड्स हम लोग लेकर आए नॉर्थ ईस्ट में फर्स्ट टाइम तो उस वक्त भी हम लोगों को ये था कि नहीं यहाँ का जो मार्केट है ये इन चीज़ों को चाहिए इसकी ज़रूरत है तो ये ज़रूरत जो है वो सेंट्रल मॉल में हम लोगों ने जब लाया तो उसको बहुत बढ़िया से हमने उसको कोपअप किया अच्छा भी चला और अभी भी जो हम देख रहे हैं डे बाई डे जो मार्केट में कस्टमर्स का जो एक्सपेंडिचर करने का जो कैपेसिटी है वो बहुत बढ़िया है नॉर्थ ईस्ट में इन टर्म्स ऑफ अगर हम अदर्स जो हमारे स्टेट से आजू बाजू के जगह हम कंपेयर करते हैं हमसे पर कैपिटा इनकम इज अराउंड 1,18,000 पर पर्सन है अपने आसाम का इधर का सबसे ज़्यादा सिक्किम का आता है 3 लाख रुपये समथिंग 3 सिक्किम का आता है और थर्ड या फोर्थ उसके बाद में त्रिपुरा दैन अरुणाचल दैन इट्स असम तो उस हिसाब से हम लोगों के पर कैपिटा इनकम के हिसाब से जो रिटेल मार्केट है वो बहुत ज़बरदस्त है और डे बाई डे ग्रो कर रहा है जैसे हम लोग आप देखिएगा एट ए स्ट्रेच ऑफ GS रोड जो आप देखिएगा कि अगर हम बोले तो दिस इज पार्क स्ट्रीट ऑफ गुवाहाटी GS रोड को अगर आप देखेंगे उसमें डे बाई डे जिस तरीके से ग्रो हो रहा है जो मॉल कल्चर ग्रो हो रहा है It's a very much emerging market और बहुत कुछ करने लायक है इसमें।
Great. I guess पवन जी ने बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट किया कि किस तरीके से ये मार्केट ग्रो कर रहा है in terms of per capita income, in terms of disposable income, in terms of market participants कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पब्लिक मार्केट में आ रही है ब्रांड्स को एक्सपीरियंस करना चाहती है लेना चाहती है। I think Akshata, I will start with you. What do you think has really gone into creating these factors playing as an emergent indicators for Northeast retail. Particularly on considering the diverse consumer base that we have.
Thank you so much, and it's wonderful to be here, first of all. Coming back to the question, I think there was always a gap in this region. As you said, that retail industry in India has been booming for many, many years. But I think it has only picked up in the Northeast in the last 10 to 15 years. Because earlier, I think our region is geographically also very, very diverse, and there were like a lot of limitations. But right now, I think with the brands that have come in, and like Sir has mentioned, the mall culture that has come in, there was always a gap for that. Having said that, I think what consumers have always wanted is to resonate with the brand. I think it's the same for everywhere across the country. So I think Northeast specifically, they're very emotional people, and the brands need to like connect with the emotions of the people. I think that's the best way to go forward for a brand. For consumer, because the consumers are so diverse, given how many tribes we have, let alone in Assam, leave the northeastern states. We are so diverse when it comes to our communities. So the brands really need to have that kind of personalization and that kind of, localized effect so that they connect with the consumers. And that has happened over the last few years. On my way here, I was just thinking of this campaign that Titan had done. They are the leaders when it comes to watches, right? When they came to our market and they were here for many years, they launched a series that had Assamese motifs in their dials. And that was one of their best sellers in this region at least. So I think that that customization, that personalization with that localization with this region, I think that is what connects with the consumers. Also, the marketing plans that are being done by various brands right now, I think it all comes down to that localized, that localization of connecting with the emotions of the public and the consumers. I think that is the best way forward. And since I come from media and I see brands, market their products with us, especially when there is season, there's Bihu, there's Durga Puja, all of that is customized to cater to what the public wants. Ultimately, it is what the consumers want. So I think Northeast is right now the place to be. It is really in focus. And Assam is a booming market, and Sir has mentioned how the industry has grown in the last couple of years. People want to go out, people want to spend, that culture has come here. So yeah, it's a fantastic time to be in Assam and to be working here. Thank you.
I think great point, Akshata. What I can draw from your inference is that customization, localization is the key. And very rightly said, I guess, Northeast people, they're very emotional, they're very bonded with each other. And you got to have that local flavor come in, there's a word in Assam as Adrani. So, you need to give them that respect, that dueness that they feel, and that's how the connection builds up.
Also, if you don't mind me adding another point here, there are several raw materials and products that are local to this region, indigenous products, that were always being exported from this region at a very small scale, no doubt. But now, with brands coming in and the channels opening up, these products are being exported at a larger quantity, and the world is getting smaller. The world is getting to know of our products, and with the government promoting Narendra, promoting Assam and its products, especially when it comes to like handloom and the agricultural products that are local to this region. There is vast scope here right now, and if we could, if brands could cater to these local products, because I know a lot of luxury brands are now using Muga silk to use in manufacturing of their handbags, the inside lining of their handbags. So there are many products that are indigenous to this region specifically that can be used for various purposes. it all depends on how you connect with the people here because they're emotional. So I think.
I think very aptly said by Akshata. I mean, yesterday only we have this thing flashing in the news. The newly built Ram Mandir and the Ram Lalla Murti wore an Indian Muga silk attire. So that says it all. That Northeast and Assam has to go. There's a long way to go. I mean, very happy. Avinav, coming to you. What do you think? For every market to grow, income has to be a driver. And how do you see that, the rising the income levels of people of Northeast? How is that risen? And being a F&B retailer, how do you think that the income levels have really helped the markets to emerge and to develop to the level that we see now?
The per capita GDP in Assam is growing, and we can see that from the sudden bloom of multiple brands across Assam and even other northeastern states. For example, now I think you name any decent national brand, everything is available in Guwahati. That's a big indicator that the disposable income is rising, because these brands come to a market only after they see potential for customer preferences. Now, how does that help a brand? So, for example, I'll take our example. Now, with earlier, so we have an older store format which is around 70 years old, where people are always very price conscious. They will not spend money on, let's say, anything else other than the sweet itself, right? But when we started a new outlet in GS store, we see that people now not only want the product, but they seek experiences. An interesting thing that we saw here is that it's not, now people are not so much price sensitive. Obviously, there are different product categories, so I don't speak for all product categories. But let's say for aspiration product categories, people are not that price sensitive. They are okay to spend a little more, but they want better experiences. Which is why we focus on creating better stores, better looking products, and sometimes even our products can be a little more expensive. Let's say something like papri chaat. So it's a very common feedback. It's very महंगा. The thing is, people still come there to eat it because they find it that यहाँ पे experience better. We saw very similar trajectory when we started expanding in Bangalore 7 years ago. वहाँ पे उस टाइम पे what we are right now, उस टाइम maybe उससे थोड़ा आगे था, कोई similar stage. That chaat and street food restaurants are very basic in nature. We opened it in a very grander format, and we saw people really liking the experience and willing to spend whatever they had to pay. Now, disposable income also gives another benefit to brands in a way that businesses can explore more innovative ideas to offer to customers. For example, we've spent a lot of money in creating branding and good designing of our products, better packaging, and people want to pay for these better looking products. Product तो same है, but अंदर में the packaging can be much better because if they want to give it to somebody else, they are okay with spending a little more, but the packaging should look good. And I think thirdly, another interesting opportunity here is it's not only the product category, but people also now see more with rising disposable income that is seen in Guwahati as well. The people seek more conveniences. They like better service. So, like example I could give is the online business of our brand is growing exponentially on a month-on-month basis. Now, what they show is that people, and even though online can be a little more expensive, especially in our case, because we charge delivery, etc., etc. But people want the convenience of ordering things at their home. So, definitely there are multiple things that the disposable income gives opportunity to us to explore. Yeah.
Great. I guess very rightly said by Abhinav. Two key points that Abhinav really brought out was with rising income to experience and convenience is what people need now. People have money, they want to spend, उनको खर्चा करना है, but उनको experience पे खर्चा करना है, उनको convenience पे खर्चा करना है. So this is what is actually evolving, and I think retailers can take cues of this rising trend that if you want to be in the market, आपको market में compete करना है, you have to give them the experience, you have to give them the convenience. Convenience can be not only by delivering at their doorstep, probably when they come to your store, the convenience of checkout, the convenience of shopping, the convenience of getting or placing the product rightfully so that they can avail the product in the quickest manner. So I think very nice point. Kunal, I would like to get you into the discussion. Coming from a treacherous state of a mountainous state where geography seems to play a little devilish in terms of twining roads and all, how do you think logistics have played, or what challenge does logistics play in terms of evolution of retail? I mean, is it been a challenge or it's been a boon or a bane? What do you think? What's your take on that?
So basically, logistics, if you look, like everybody said, 10-15 years, Northeast has really developed. So even logistics has evolved in the last 10 to 15 years, and it is not as bad as it was before. Yes, due to certain areas of the Northeast disconnected with the rail network, there are certain challenges. Timelines are there. So proper planning and your supply chain has to be managed in such a way that you're getting the goods on time. If it's planned well, yes, it's really workable and it's improved. And as we are all aware, e-commerce has played a big role in this, where the logistics has improved, where previously goods used to reach from any metro to Shillong in 25 to 30 days, which is reduced to 12 to 15 days now. So there's a big development in that. And e-commerce has played a big role where the loads come in faster, and if it's planned well, you can do a lot of savings on the logistics as well, where you avoid the rail network and still stick to the road network. It saves around 60-65% of the cost. So most of us, like Mar said, that we buy at the very last moment and we want it early, so we use the faster methods to get the stuff in. So if you plan it well, I feel you can do a lot of cost saving on the road network logistic partners, and that way I think that's the best way to stay in the retail sector, because now it's become so competitive. The price and cost have to be controlled at all times. So that's the best way to get it.
I mean, good point. But how do you think, how's the government policy? Because logistics, infrastructure is a function of government policies. How do you think over all these years, how the different governments of different states of Northeast have really played their part to bring the infrastructure development, solve the logistical problem? Having said that, Northeast is a little different from the other part of India. The manufacturing base is somewhere down, that part of India, to transfer goods either from road, rail, or air. So how do you think what government has done to do that bit?
So government at the moment they've given us brilliant road network and superb roads throughout Northeast, exceptional for some places where still connectivity is an issue. The rail network has been superb, and I think that's government's role is on the infrastructure part. I think it's developing day on day, and it's doing a great job on the infrastructure part. And the best thing which the government could do is remove the waybill concept which was there in the VAT regime, which was a tedious process and a lot of checkpoints, check gates, where the delay was also happening. So government has played a big role there also.
Good to hear that. I think everybody would agree with this part that the e-waybill system, the GST tax, taxation framework, and with vocal for local, look-is policy, different policies of government, they're really helping the market, the retailers of Northeast to get the ease of mobility. because for retail to happen, be it service retail, be it goods retail, everything has to come in time, and and to be competitive, the cost has to be little taken care. Logistics seems a lot of problem in a lot of areas if things are not in place. The supply chain is not seamless, if it's not fluent, if it's not seamless, the costs tend to increase. So I think government has really played, and we will see a lot of futuristic policies from the local and the national governments to bring that smoothness in solving the logistical problem. अनुज जी, आपको मैं लाना चाहूँगा इस डिस्कशन में. आप हार्डवेयर रिटेल और होम सोल्यूशन इम्प्रूवमेंट सेक्टर में हैं. आपके हिसाब से आई एम श्योर आप नॉर्थ ईस्ट के सारे स्टेट्स में ट्रेड करते हैं. आपके हिसाब से क्या चैलेंज आप फेस करें इन टर्म्स ऑफ मार्केट स्ट्रेटजी? आप कैसे मार्केटिंग कर पा रहे हैं लोगों को? उनके जैसा कि हमारे कैरेट एंगल्स ने कहा कि इनकम बढ़ रहा है, एक्सपीरियंस नया चाहिए, कन्वीनियंस चाहिए, तो आप जरा अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करें कि किस तरीके से आपके सेक्टर में, क्योंकि ये एक नया बूमिंग है, ये लाइफस्टाइल से रिलेटेड है, किस तरीके से आपके सेक्टर में आपने देखा है कि वो बदलते हुए?
धन्यवाद विक्रम जी. हमारे सेक्टर में बेसिकली सबसे अच्छी बात है कि अभी तक ऑनलाइन का चैलेंज इतना बड़ा नहीं आया है, बिकॉज इट्स अ फैमिली एफर्ट. जो लोग घर बना रहे हैं पूरा फैमिली उस पर फोकस करता है और वो लोग अपने स्टोर्स में आते हैं, कुछ जो भी प्रोडक्ट ले रहे हैं उसको देखते हैं, टच करते हैं, फील करते हैं, उसके बाद वो डिसाइड करते हैं. उसमें डिजाइनर्स इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, उनकी टेक्निकल टीम इन्वॉल्व होती है. तो ये एक अच्छा पार्ट है कि अब तक इतना बड़ा ऑनलाइन चैलेंज हमारे साथ नहीं है. सेकेंड, हमें जो टफ होता है बेसिकली इन गुवाहाटी और नॉर्थ ईस्ट में, इसके लिए हमारे लिए सबसे बड़ी टफ टास्क ये है कि हमारे क्लाइंट को ये हमें समझाना पड़ता है कि फॉर एग्जांपल मैं बेंगलोर एयरपोर्ट से बाहर निकल रहा हूँ और वहाँ एक होर्डिंग लगा हुआ है, उस पर लिखा हुआ है योर फ्लैट 3 BHK स्टार्ट्स विद 4.15 CR 1200 स्क्वायर फीट. बट अगर हम गुवाहाटी एयरपोर्ट से बाहर निकलते हैं, that same area flat 1200 square feet starts with 19 lakhs. तो ये 19 lakhs और 4.15 CR का जो डिफरेंस आता है, मेरे क्लाइंट को ये समझाना पड़ता है कि आपका कारपेट एरिया सेम है, आपको इंटीरियर सेम चाहिए. आप जब फ्लैट को जब आप रिनोवेट कर रहे हो या नया बना रहे हो, आपके खर्चे सेम है, आपके चॉइस सेम है. अब वहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम आती है, यहाँ पे जो क्लाइंट का माइंडसेट रहता है कि मैंने यार 40 लाख का फ्लैट खरीदा है, 1 करोड़ क्यों खर्च करूं, और किसी ने 4 करोड़ का फ्लैट खरीदा है, वो 1 करोड़ आराम से खर्च कर लेता है, उसको तकलीफ नहीं होती है, वो सोचता है मैं 25% में फ्लैट बना रहा हूँ. बट गुवाहाटी में सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम ये है, फ्लैट तो मैंने 40 लाख में खरीदा और मेरे को इन्वेस्ट 1 करोड़ करना है. तो वो समझाने में हमें थोड़ी तकलीफ होती है. बाकी हमारे लिए ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, बहुत इजीली कस्टमर समझते हैं कि भाई उनको क्या चाहिए और वो डिसाइड करके आते हैं. और अच्छी बात यह है कि पहले बिल्डिंग्स में एक्सटीरियर का काम नहीं करवाते थे लोग, अब लोग अच्छा खासा स्पेंड करने लगे हैं, एक्सटीरियर अपनी बिल्डिंगों के बहुत अच्छा बनाने लगे हैं. तो हमारी लाइफ में अब भी मैं बोलूँगा कि रेड कारपेट है फॉर इंटायर नॉर्थ ईस्ट. कंस्ट्रक्शन का इंडस्ट्री बहुत बूम पर है इस समय. अगर जितना अच्छा काम कर पाए वो हमारे लिए काम होगा. थैंक यू.
तो आप इस बात से सहमत हैं कि जो इनकम लेवल बढ़ रहा है और जो ईज ऑफ मोबिलिटी हो रही है, लोगों का एक्सपोजर बढ़ रहा है, स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग बढ़ाने की जो आकांक्षा है, एस्पिरेशन बढ़ रहा है, उससे आपकी इंडस्ट्री को हेल्प हो रहा है. मैं भी श्योर. आप अपनी इंडस्ट्री को आगे, क्योंकि अभी हम रेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया में देखते हैं, वहाँ पे बहुत सारे फर्नीचर ऑनलाइन रिटेलर्स लाइक पेपरफ्राई और इस टाइप के लोग आ रहे हैं, उनको भी वो अपॉर्चुनिटी दिख रही है जो आपको दिख रही है यहाँ पे. आपको नहीं लगता कि उससे आपको कोई दिक्कत आएगी इन द सेंस कि वो फर्नीचर घर तक ला के देंगे, सोल्यूशन घर तक ला के देंगे, विजिबली आप लोग जैसे फिजिकल रिटेलर जो इस बहुत सालों से इस मार्केट में है और कस्टमर्स को समझते हैं, तो वहाँ आप अपने आप को कहाँ देखते हैं?
मेरे ख्याल से वो हर जगह एक चैलेंज है. तो अगर पहले लोग बॉम्बे रहते थे, वो दिल्ली जाते थे, चाइना रहते थे, अभी हमारे गुवाहाटी में नॉर्थ ईस्ट में वो ट्रेंड आया है कि हम बाहर से कुछ लेके आए हैं। बट हमको जब दिख रहा है कि बॉम्बे में क्या हो रहा है, बेंगलोर में क्या हो रहा है, कल गुवाहाटी में भी होगा, तो हम लोग को अपने आप को उसके लिए प्रिपेयर करना चाहिए। आज काफी सारे OEM आ रहे हैं जो कस्टमाइज फर्नीचर रेडी करने के लिए गुवाहाटी में अपनी प्लांट लगा रहे हैं, मशीनरीज लगा रहे हैं, एंड आई एम ऑल्सो ट्राइंग टू डिलीवर द सेम इन नियर फ्यूचर।
चंदन जी, आप रिटेल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में हैं और आप तकरीबन सारे स्टेट्स में आप फैशन ब्रांड्स को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, नॉर्थ ईस्ट में बीइंग इन गुवाहाटी। आपके नजरिए के हिसाब से व्हाट डू यू थिंक, मार्केट फ्रेगमेंटेड कैसा है यहाँ का? यहाँ डाइवर्स जो है मार्केट, अलग अलग स्टेट का अलग अलग टेस्ट और कल्चर है, क्या वो मदद करता है आपको या वो तकलीफ देता है?
ऐसा है कि अब अगर नॉर्थ ईस्ट की बात करें, नॉर्थ ईस्ट की बात करें, लेकिन नॉर्थ ईस्ट में आज अगर आप अलग अलग स्टेट वाइज जाते हैं तो हर जगह की डिमांड अलग है, कस्टमर का जो प्रेफरेंस है वो बिल्कुल अलग है। अब उस माइंडसेट को समझकर अगर आप वो चीज़ें कैटर करते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली आपका कस्टमर खुश होगा। अब उसके लिए आपको टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल करना सबसे पहली प्रायोरिटी आज की डेट में। एंड अगर अपन सोशली अपन कनेक्टेड होते हैं कि सोशल मीडिया एड आपका है या जो आपकी ब्रांड पोजिशनिंग है, तो वो सबसे बड़ी चीज़ है। अब एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ मैं आपको कि कोई एक ऐसे लोकेशन पे कोई एक स्टोर खोलता है किसी भी, चाहे अपन आसाम की बात करें या अपन नॉर्थ ईस्ट में किसी भी स्टेट की बात करें, तो अगर वो वहाँ जाकर एक लुई विटॉन का शोरूम खोल देता है अपन ऐसी जगह पे जहाँ की हमारा क्लाइंट बेस जो है वो इतनी चीज़ों को लेने के लिए अफोर्ड नहीं करता है, तो वो आपके लिए व्यापार बिल्कुल सक्सेस होने का कोई चांस ही नहीं है। लेकिन अगर आप कस्टमर के माइंडसेट को समझ के उसका सर्वे करके अगर आप अपने स्टोर पे खोलते हैं और उसका ब्रांड पोजीशनिंग वैसी करते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली आपको उसके रिजल्ट हमसे बेहतर मिलने ही मिलेंगे। तो ऑब्वियसली आज के दिन में नॉर्थ ईस्ट में अगर कहीं पर भी बात करते हैं अपन, तो नॉर्थ ईस्ट एक इमर्जिंग मार्केट है, उसमें आप कहीं पर भी जाकर अच्छा सर्वे कर आप कस्टमर से कनेक्ट होने के लिए अगर आप वो सारी चीज़ें अप्लाई करते हो जो वहाँ की रिक्वायरमेंट है उसी की, तो ऑब्वियसली आपको उसका रिजल्ट ज़्यादा मिलेगा। थैंक यू।
Great. I think this is the beauty of Northeast. Every market is unique in itself, yet we trade together. So ये beauty है. Akshat, I would like to bring you again in the discussion. How do you see, labor workforce? I guess retail is a labor-intensive industry, and this is right at every retailer's on top of every retailer's mind. That we want skilled labor. How do you see being into multiple businesses? How do you see that? What challenge you have faced over these years to skill up the labor, and what are the opportunities that you see in future?
So it is a fact that our market here is lacking skilled workforce. I mean, that is something that we all should accept and work on it collectively, because we do lack skilled people. And the reason why we do, first of all, is initially, like back when we were in school or when we were growing up, there was always this culture. None of us, I mean, Abhinav will agree with me, none of us really planned or thought that we would work in Assam, because it was quite backward, back in our times at least. Of course, in the last couple of years, the development has been exponential, and we all wanted to come back, and everybody is coming back right now. So all the skilled people, they left, somewhat they left, right? The people who stayed back here adapted to the culture of Assam, which is the Lahe Lahe culture. Everything happens at its own pace, and it's very slow and steady, and nobody really is chasing, nobody's really in that rat race of growing exponentially. Not saying that is wrong. I mean, to each their own, and that is absolutely correct. I think that was one of the main reasons, key reasons why we lack skilled people. But over the last couple of years, I mean, especially with Modi ji's Vocal for Local, I think a lot of skilling work has started. Now, as on an organizational level, what we could do is, we could partner up with skilling institutes, with educational institutes, vocational training institutes, and start, skilling people to help us in to create various job opportunities or to train them in various fields. I think every organization should take that up upon themselves to skill their to get skilling work done. What we do we have an automobile sector called Mercedes, and they have a skilling program within the company. So an employee, a sales employee, can get the skilling program done in Guwahati, and after the program he becomes eligible across the world to apply for any sales job. If we could create that kind of opportunities for employees at different organizations, that you skill, the organization is skilling you and you are eligible for jobs across various other businesses or various other industries, I think that could be a great way to skill people. NGOs, I think now they're doing fantastic. They're doing fantastic when it comes to skilling. I'm myself associated with certain NGOs who help train women in stitching and other small jobs to make them self-sufficient. And another thing that we have started is to identify potential workers who have the potential to grow in a certain way and have that succession plan that you work in our organization, you get yourself skilled, and this is your succession plan. I think that creates the, for the employees also, that's a great way to grow, and that kind of encourages them, motivates them to grow within the industry, within the company itself. And I think as employers, since we are all here together, if we could create organizations where skilled workers would want to seek jobs in Assam, create companies and create organizations that are known to have such a good employee ecosystem where people from Delhi or people from metro cities would want to come and work in this particular region. I think that could be a great way to get more skilled workers from maybe across the country back into the state.
Great point. I guess what is required is to create a working culture and ecosystem where the reverse osmosis happens. We see a lot of people getting out of Assam and Northeast moving to Bangalore and Bombay and Delhi of the world, working there, and making a career out of there. But we want people of Bangalore and Delhi's and Kerala's and whatnot of the world to come to Assam and see how they can cope up with the work culture here. Can they bring that thing into Assam or not? I think great point, Akshita.
I think the aspiration should be that, one day we will move to Assam and get a job in Assam. That should be, the aspiration.
Kunal, I really wanted you to have your perspective.
So, as we all aware, we all well traveled. So, 60 to 65% of the workforce which is in Bangalore, in Mumbai, in Delhi, they form the Northeast. So, what she said is the aspiration, the lifestyle they live there. So, Guwahati has it by now. At least we've reached 70% of a Bangalore lifestyle. But places like Shillong, Dibrugarh and Jorhat still don't have that, and Manipur. So they're not yet welcoming to outsiders coming and working there. So ultimately, the entire mindset also has to change of the region, where they have allowed our people to go there and work. Similarly, vis-a-vis, we should be as welcoming as they are. And you can imagine 60 to 65% of the workforce in the retail industry, mainly F&B, garments, footwear, is formed Northeast. So I don't know how in the future this mindset can change, where people will come from outside and want to work here. And at the same time, like she said, if a good ecosystem is built and we match up with the payment structures of outside in the Northeast, probably we can get our people back to stay here and become more sustainable. So once people from your own region are working here, so their life in the organization becomes longer than people coming from outside.
Yeah, please. Please.
So I think another thing, now that the startup ecosystem has also really boomed in the Northeast, we may not have seen many success stories as of yet, but if we could, find this kind of collaborative effort between the startups and media, I think that collaboration could really help, create that awareness on a national level as well, that this ecosystem exists in the northeastern region. And I think I don't know if Shark Tank has really helped a lot of startups, and this was the first time a startup from northeast was funded. And the reason why they got funded, what I feel is, what they selected, that it's a fashion apparel, fast fashion brand. And people in the Northeast are extremely, extremely fashionable. They've always been, especially Sir Shillong and Nagaland. And, back in our times, we used to go to Shillong to shop because it was so fashionable. So they've identified their strengths and they've played to it. I think where the ecosystem, the startup ecosystem right now is lacking is they're trying to find solutions to problems that are not pertaining to this region. If, collectively the ecosystem could find solutions to problems specific to the Northeast and Assam, I think, and have one or two more success stories from this region presented nationally, I think that would be a major, major driving force for people to come back here, skilled workers, and also for investors to invest more in this region. I think that would also be great.
Look, I guess, what is required more in Northeast to bring good talent from the other part of India is to create a very retainable, sustainable incentive structure where the sense of entrepreneurship, we need our employees, we need our labor force to think like us. We need our labor force to attend to our customers like we want to do. So this is what is required. The sense of entrepreneurship has to come in, that what it costs to run a store, what it costs to run a mall, what it costs to run any particular store or any shop. I think the labor participation is increasing. The other day I was reading a news article and it said that currently the employability rate in Northeast is growing at a pace of 25% year on year. This shows that the youth of Northeast, after completing their basic and formal education, 10 plus 2 or bachelor's, they want to get into the job market. They really want to pursue that career of theirs. And it shows that people who have gone out of Northeast are returning back to their places. This all indicators is actually indicating to the whole fact that action yahan ho raha hai. It's be at home, be actionable there. So I think this is a golden time. This is a very encouraging time for all the retailers in Northeast to really strategize, formulate strategies, formulate some plans that retain, attract talent, retain, give them that sense of responsibility, and bring up to that level. Abhinav, I would like your perspective on this because yours is a little sweet sector, but very challenging in terms of keeping up, the workforce together. How do you see? What are the challenges in your F&B sector?
So I think it's well established that that is a real problem here with skilled workforce, and we face that daily. And as Rajesh said, that back in the school days, I would have never imagined coming back. I think people of our generation never imagined to वापस गुवाहाटी आके काम करेंगे. See ही नहीं था. But then Guwahati developed and we came back. Now coming back to the point of, let's say, how Sir I think mentioned, there are a lot of population. In fact, I was reading that 27% of the Northeastern population, so Northeastern population form 27% of the migrating population in India. along with eastern region as well, Bihar and West Bengal. So with our business, we need skilled workforce. We need very good service staff. A bad service staff can totally ruin experience. As Ashwin said earlier, that Northeastern people are very emotional. So a good service will make them loyal to the brand, but bad service मतलब कभी वापस नहीं आएगा. And मतलब यहाँ पे बहुत common issues है कि let's say somebody it happens to all of them कि complain खाना खराब लग रहा है तो the waiter will say यहाँ तो ऐसा ही बनता है. So एकदम standard. It has happened with me in different restaurants and happened with me in Barcelona as well. But to tackle this problem, we have been trying to employ 2-3 different strategies. So one, as you said, there is a lot of talent outside, and more so in the lower and the mid level, there's a lot of people who are still outside in Goa and Bangalore. What we have seen recently is that these guys, they all went 10 to 15 years ago because there was no work here. Now, because we have presence in Bangalore, so what we realized, I started giving briefs to Merco, Northeastern and East के लोग वापस हुए. So out of 10 people, 3 to 4 of them want to come back. Why? Because these guys have been living outside their houses for 10 years. And Bangalore or Goa is very far. Guwahati generally is far from every place. So they want to come back closer to their houses. So now we are finding workforce back who are well trained in those cities who are ready to come back to Guwahati or Northeastern region and work back. Again, I would say कि as Dibrugarh वो फिर भी time है पर Guwahati they want to come back. Then another thing that we feel is कि most retailers in Assam region we're still developing as companies. We're still becoming bigger. We all had issues 10 years ago, so nobody would explore. So there is a lack of professionalism in our companies. मतलब we are also not that professional. हमको भी हम धीरे-धीरे सीख रहे हैं. So I see that I have hired a lot of managers from different cities. Bombay से hire किया, Bangalore से, but they all run off. मतलब 6 महीना काम करेंगे भाग जाते हैं. Then I realized कि गलती उनकी नहीं, गलती मेरी है. There is something that's missing in me. Because when I see KFC, so KFC में they hire random people. Their basic qualification is 12th pass होना चाहिए. No hotel experience needed, nothing. Why they work there more? Why they don't work with us? Because they have a very set SOPs, and that's something that we can work with. Like बहुत अच्छा SOP बनाना. They have dedicated training managers. तो एक profile होता है जिसका काम है खाली train करना. I don't think a lot of us will have a training manager in a company. Along with that, some interesting thing that I read about recently is creating training buddies. So let's say different departments will have हर department में एक दो लड़के ऐसे होते हैं जो 3-4 साल से काम कर रहे हैं. And these guys know how to work well. So what some companies are doing is they appoint these people in different departments as training buddies. And whenever a new person joins that respective department, training buddy's job to train that person, and the training supervisor will see the training sahi ho raha hai. So this is something that we are trying to employ right now, and I think it takes some time, but yeah, I'm positive about it is going to change in future.
Great perspective. I think this is Abhinav has really touched on the crux of the problem. Is that you need to imbibe that in your आपको अपने company के अंदर. So what is I think to give you substance about what Abhinav is trying to tell is that we need to upskill ourselves, the promoters, the owners, the promoters. We need to change the thought. हम छोटे दुकान लेके बैठे हैं, 10 लोग एम्प्लॉय करके बैठे हैं, आप उसमें भी बहुत कमाल कर सकते हैं. Can do wonders there. It's all about thought. Can I think in a way that there has to be a HR SOP, there has to be a store operating SOP, there has to be this, that. So can we bring that professionalism? Can we bring that processes, systems, flows? Can we bring that? If you can bring that, the game is in. Quickly, I think we're just running out of time. Just to sum up, Pawanji, how do you think is hyper competitive online, offline, retail market बढ़ रहा है? आपके हिसाब से किसी को अगर यहाँ नॉर्थ ईस्ट में दुकान खोलनी है, शॉप खोलना है या रिटेल बिजनेस करना है, क्या स्ट्रेटजी होनी चाहिए?
स्ट्रेटजी बेस्ट है सर, जैसे इन्होंने कहा, जहाँ पे जो चीज़ होना चाहिए, जहाँ जो होना चाहिए, सबसे बढ़िया चीज़ है जैसे अभिनव ने भी कहा, बीच आपका जो स्टाफ है जो है वो प्रेजेंटेबल होना चाहिए. हम लोग बहुत बार जाते हैं किसी स्टोर में गए, सेल्समैन बैठा हुआ, वो उठ के ही नहीं आता. आप देख रहे हो, कपड़े देख रहे हो, गाड़ी देख रहे हो, वो बिंदास बैठा हो, उसको मतलब नहीं. आप मुझसे पूछोगे ये क्या है, वो आप निकल जाओ. आप निकल के बाजू के दुकान में जाओ। ये मैं आपको एक लाइव एग्जाम्पल बता रहा हूँ। उस टाइम में मैं कैलकाटा में काम करता हूँ, मेरे सामने का ही एक बंदा लुंगी पहन के दुकान में घुसा, दुकानदार से पूछ रहा है इसको सूट का रेट पे पूछ रहा है, दुकान का कस्टमर बैठा हुआ, उसको वैल्यू नहीं है कि वो देगा। अब वो ईदगा टाइम था, उसको गुस्सा आया, उसने बोला पूरी दुकान का रेट बताओ क्या है, और वो जो छोला हाथ में था उसको छोला उलट दिया, और इनफैक्ट उसकी दुकान से ज्यादा पैदा उसके पास। तो जो आप बोल रहे हो कि मेन स्ट्रेटेजी वही है कि हमको कहाँ कैसे बैठना है, किस तरीका से बैठना है। स्किल वर्कफोर्स जो हमारे नॉर्थ ईस्ट की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, और वो जो प्रॉब्लम उसका रीजन भी उन्होंने कहा कि हम लोग पेमेंट ही नहीं कर पाते, जो पैसा उनको बाहर मिलता वो हम यहाँ दे ही नहीं पाते, हम लोग इसी में पीछे रह जाते हैं तो बंदे बाहर चले गए। वो पेमेंट अगर हम यहाँ करने लगेंगे तो वो बंदे हमें मिलेंगे। तो वैसा अगर हम करते हैं तो रिटेल मार्केट आप कहीं पे भी खोल के बैठो, आप बढ़िया से चला लोगे। आप गुवाहाटी में देखो ऐसे ऐसे स्टोर खुले हुए, ऐसी जगह में खुले हुए जिन्होंने बढ़िया से ऐड किया, बढ़िया से चीज को चलाया, आज के डेट में चल रहे यूपी में भी बैठ के वो अपना धंधा कर रहे हैं। आप भी जा रहे हैं, एक्सक्लूसिविटी है उनके पास, उसको भी लेने के लिए आप नहीं जाते, यहाँ क्या यहाँ बढ़िया है, सर्विस है, चीज बढ़िया था आपने यहाँ पे। तो व्हाट आई थिंक गुड सर्विस, गुड प्रोडक्ट, एक्सक्लूसिविटी आपके पास कुछ अलग से होना पड़ेगा, तो पब्लिक आपके पास जरूर है।
चंदन जी, quickly, आपके closing thoughts।
देखिए ये एक जो आपने बोला कि ये गोल्डन टाइम है, तो गोल्डन टाइम तो है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है, क्योंकि जब कोई भी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आता है तो आपको उसमें दिक्कत ही नहीं खोजनी, आपको उसमें से अपॉर्चुनिटी खोजनी है। और अपॉर्चुनिटी में मैं इसमें छोटी सी लाइन ऐड करूँगा कि मैंने किसी किताब में पढ़ा था कि मूंगफलियाँ फेंकोगे तो बंदर ही आएंगे। तो अब लोग क्या होता है कि वो मूंगफलियाँ फेंकना चाहते हैं तो वो बंदर आते हैं और वो उसी के कारण परेशान रहते हैं। तो वो जो वर्क फोर्स यहाँ से बाहर जाकर काम कर रहा है वो किस लिए आ रहा है, वो क्योंकि उसको बेटर अपॉर्चुनिटी, बेटर इनकम मिल रही है। वो अगर हम यहाँ दे सकें उसको तो ऑब्वियसली वो यहाँ काम करना चाहेगा, डेफिनेटली करेगा। तो उसका आपको अपना माइंडसेट को चेंज करने की जरूरत है। अगर आपने अपना माइंडसेट चेंज किया और थोड़ी सी ट्रेनिंग दी, थोड़ा सा ट्रेनिंग का तरीका लगाया, तो ऑब्वियसली वो स्टाफ यही रहेगा, क्योंकि उसको अपनी मिट्टी से प्यार आ जाएगा, वो यहाँ के काम करेगा, ऑब्वियसली वो ग्रो करना चाहेगा। तो बस इतना ही बोलना चाहता हूँ कि लोगों को एक पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट के साथ में अपने बिजनेस को देखना चाहिए और अपने वर्क को, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली कमा के वही देते हैं हम लोगों को। आज हम लोग प्लानिंग बनाते हैं, हम लोग नया नया एग्जीक्यूशन करते हैं, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली हम लोग डिपेंडेंट तो है, चाहे हम लोग कितना भी सिस्टम लगा रहे हैं, एंड ऑफ द डे तो काम तो उनको ही करना है। जब वो काम करेंगे तो किस अपने को रिजल्ट आएगा। तो इतना ही बोलना चाहिए। थैंक यू।
Kavita, your closing remarks।
I think as you've already established, Assam, Northeast is a very good market. Although we were lagging behind, so now it's like a right opportunity for all of us. कि मतलब जो है नहीं हुआ हम लोग कर सकते थे, there's a lot to be done. So there's a lot of growth opportunity for all of us, be it retail, be it QSR, be it media, everything. Like it's just all booming, right? And in terms of just the workforce, I feel कि वो issue है पर वो solve हो जाएगा। पहले issue इससे था कि लोग कुछ time नहीं आते। Now we all are actively trying to make companies better, so people will come and I think the solution will happen. So I'm very positive towards what's happening. I see a lot of growth in QSR happening, in retail, and we also see a lot of opportunity for ourselves. So yeah, I'm very optimistic about our region.
आदर्श जी, आपके closing remarks, क्या thoughts, final thoughts?
मेरा कुछ अलग सोचना भी है। जैसे हम लोग का यहाँ गुवाहाटी में एक बिजनेस ग्रुप बनाया हुआ है जिसमें ट्रेडर्स हैं, तकरीबन 400-500 लोग हैं। उसमें कल एक मैसेज आया था इंस्टाग्राम का कि उस यहाँ के एक ट्रेडर का भेजा हुआ था। ही इज बेसिकली ट्रेवल एजेंट। उसने इंस्टा में डाला कि दे हैव स्टार्टेड अ न्यू सर्विस कि आपको चाइना से, इटली से कंटेनर्स मंगाने हैं, कुछ कार्गो मंगवाने हैं। तो पहले बड़े मंगवाने पड़ते थे, हम लोग छोटे यूनिट भी मंगवा देंगे। एंड बेसिकली ही स्टार्टेड हिज जर्नी फ्रॉम डोमेस्टिक टिकट्स, देन ही स्टार्टेड इंटरनेशनल पैकेज, नाउ ही स्टार्टेड दिस थिंग। तो आई वाज सरप्राइज्ड। मैंने उसको कमेंट भी किया, इट्स अ मैसेज आल्सो एंड इट्स अ थिंग व्हिच वी कैन लर्न। हमें अपनी इंडस्ट्री में नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी ढूंढनी पड़ेगी अगर हमें अपना रिटेल चलाना है। तो अगर हम किसी को ब्लेम करते रहेंगे तो उस ब्लेम को और अपने आप को लेके घर बैठ सकते हैं। आई थिंक कि हमें अपनी नई अपॉर्चुनिटी की भी दिशा ढूंढनी खुद को पड़ेगी, कोई बाहर से नहीं आएगा। रिगार्डिंग स्टाफ, आपको मैनेज करना अगर आए तो वो कभी भी आपको छोड़ के नहीं जाते। उनके सेंटिमेंट्स, उनके ईगो को समझना है, उनको दिन का 500 से 700 रुपया कोई भी दे देगा, अपनी तरह उनको लाखों रुपए नहीं चाहिए, उनसे प्यार करो, वो नहीं जाएंगे। थैंक यू।
Ashkata, your closing remarks.
I'm going to go a little philosophical here. So I have three things. First, I strongly, truly believe now is the time for regional. Everything regional. I mean, not just Assam, all the local regions are booming. So now is the time for regional. Identify our strengths, play to our strengths, use technology, use methods that you have learned from various parts of the metro cities, and use it locally, and your business is going to boom for sure. Second, change is the only constant. Whatever negatives that we can identify, we have to change those. We have to change ourselves, adapt to the newness that's coming in, technology that is coming in, integrate technology in whichever way possible, and change the existing ecosystem. Third, this is something I say a lot. Be the change you want to see in the world. And if you want to change something, nobody's going to come and do it for you. You should do it yourself. And I think that is really happening right now in our region specifically, because a lot of people, like I said, they've come back and they are trying to, change the companies, change the way things were going. And if we can just create companies, I think that is our aim right now. That should be our aim, is to create companies where employees would want to come and work. As employers, we should create that environment. We should create opportunities for our employees where they want to stay. So I think that is the change we all should, try to bring about in ourselves. Thank you.
Kunal.
So I keep telling this same thing again and again. So what's happening is we all keep complaining about online. Everybody's business is being. So like Kumar said, ONDC is one platform, like a marketplace. So one more idea which hit us around a year back, where we create a marketplace, like a fancy bazaar marketplace, fancybazaar.com, and all the shopkeepers are listed on that. So we have a logistics partner for that, and the deliveries supply chain is managed through the logistics partner. And instead of marketing one individual shop, we are marketing just one ID marketplace, that's fancybazaar.com. So whoever wants anything from Fancy Bazaar is coming there, coming online and buying it. So everybody can post their offers, they can have their back-end access and everything, and all shopkeepers can be there. So I think that's the way forward to get into the omni-channel, because it's very difficult for, as a single entity, to become an omni-channel and market yourself throughout the country. So I think that's the way forward for all of us, I think.
Great. I guess we come to the close of this panel discussion. I mean, 2-3 points which has emerged out of this discussion is, one, we need to create a strategy which creates experience, which creates convenience, which creates upscaling not only of our employees but for yourself. You need to create inclusivity. You need to understand the nuances of the senses and emotions of the people here. And that's what is required. So, I think we had a lovely discussion. I want a big round of applause for the esteemed panel. And quickly, if I just open this house for the people, for the audience who have been very patient and very, grounded to listen, and any questions that you want to ask.
Vikramya, congratulations. This is the second time I've attended this summit. So I have a question to actually actually. I have been a follower of yours and it's a very inspirational for all the people who work here. So I just want to ask you one question. I'm Roland Bottom here. I consider myself as Assis. But as Kunal said, we should be welcoming to all the religions apart from all the creeds and the cultures. So recently, back in 2022, an incident happened with me. So it's like I'm a handloom manufacturer. I deal with all the handloom handicraft products. So what happened with me? that it's like a few people came from the media industry that they have some points and they started telling us that you are Anaf again. The thing is that Jodi Moya Jalbon I don't feel better. And mostly issue है यहाँ पे notice में अपने because they don't mind me asking something really tough questions over here. But the thing is that कि इधर ये सबसे ज़्यादा जो चीज़ challenging है अपने यहाँ पे कोई भी अगर बाहर से यहाँ पे आके investment भी करना चाहता है if someone is working there तो सबसे बड़ा दिक्कत जो यहाँ पे अपने लोगों को जो प्लान हो रहा है कि बाहर भी लोग यहाँ पे वेलकम फील नहीं करते तो बाहर के इन्वेस्टमेंट भी अपने यहाँ पे आने के लिए दो बार सोचते हैं रिसेंटली जब यहाँ पे टाटा ग्रुप का होटल भी आया था देयर वाज अ वेरी इन्वेस्ट यहाँ पे जो अभी आई एम टोरंटो वाले भी बोलेगा वी हैव like Tata the semiconductor manufacturing facility is starting up where the tribals are investing and जब मैं खुद देख लगा कि मैं खुद यहाँ रह क्या कंसीडर वैसा सबको मिला उसके बाद भी आप फेस and उसके बाद अपने मीडिया चैनल्स भी are they are doing targeted मतलब they do targeted stories or this targeted thing but चलिए मैं तो यहाँ का हूँ तो I comes up. So what would be the thing? मैं जो यहाँ के local media हैं वाले हैं जो यहाँ के businessmen को wrong like that way we are just showing one part of the story. And what I got to know about my father just the state point that every kind of publicity is a good publicity is a negative thing. You have to stand for it. So I guess मुझे जो experience है मुझे ये अच्छा लगा I got recognition अलग ना तो ये चीज़ मुझे should be faced with and I guess this is one of the most important thing that should be answered.
I totally agree. Not just you, sir. Actually, I'm also called Anaf Amia because my father is Punjabi. Although my mother is Assamese and we are also born and brought up here, I'm also called Anaf Amia. I take it with a pinch of salt. I think going forward, that's the only thing I can do because at the end of the day, what we are trying to do, and why I'm saying we is because anything that I do is not just me, it's an entire organization, an entire team. What we are trying to do is to do good for this region, and one day that work will speak for itself. And yeah, it is true that Assam as a region, they are not welcoming to people from the outside. They are not welcoming to Hindi-speaking people or Bengali-speaking people. But times are changing, and it really is. And all we can do is be optimistic about it. Having said that, yes, any kind of publicity is publicity. It is said, and I think take it with a pinch of salt and go forward.
I've been through it. I've come up with
And actually, on behalf of all the media houses in this region, I'm going to apologize to you. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. No, it's absolutely fine. But I'm really sorry that you had to go through that on behalf of all the news channels in this region.
Saying that you're an outsider, it's about mentality. And I'm sure everybody sitting in the room, but somewhere deep down, they would feel that this mentality is now changing. People, it's a generational shift which is happening. So we got to
change, sir. हमको ही लाना है. We cannot expect our grandparents' generation or even like people who belong to the generation above us. We cannot expect them to change their mindset, something that they've grown up with. What we can do as the next generation, what we can do as the generation that is going to take this state forward or take this region forward, is to implement that change ourselves. और ये हर जगह होता है. ये सिर्फ असम का बात नहीं है. आप कहीं पे भी जाओ, हर जगह ये होता है. But why the other regions have evolved is they accepted that change and they went forward. हम लोग 10 साल थोड़े पीछे चल रहे थे, अब exponentially आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. तो वो जो पहले होता था, अब थोड़ा करके कम हो रहा है. वो अपने को ही खुद से करना है.
I think that to happen, we have to remain and stick to Northeast. We have to see the change, so be the change. Just last question, and so we draw the close of the session. Thank you so much for being a very lovely audience, very patient audience, and a warm applause for the distinguished panel. Lovely insights. Thank you so much.